Well, I've been saying it, and now she's here. Alright, so, hello everybody, my name's Deathrow93, and this is the new Dragon Ball Super review and everything else. And let me just make Discord go down, be like, no, we don't want you. But, female Broly is here, Kale. Now, I'm going to cover the Super Saiyan part of this episode, and then I'll cover the other part, which is incredibly important. Basically this. Kale is Broly. There is no denying that. Not just a muscular Super Saiyan. She is, you know, literally, yeah. Basically, the first part of the episode, you know, well, I guess it'd be more like 2/5 in. Basically, you know, Kaba and then Caulifla's like, hey, Kale, you gotta go Super Saiyan, you know. And she keeps telling her about that tingling feeling in the back. That one kinda can be yes or no. I feel like that might be a Universe 6 exclusive thing, but I'm not sure just yet. Because the other Saiyans all the time had to go Rage. The only ones who didn't was Goten and Trunks. Goten and Trunks, I feel like, was kind of unique because they were conceived after their fathers had become Super Saiyan, so the Super Saiyan gene was in there. So that's kind of that. But Caulifla, I think, is also just a genius. Like, she was at that power level beforehand. You know, she was a powerful Saiyan warrior. Even though they were very calm, peaceful, she was more actual, like, Universe 7 Saiyans. Which I'm very happy about that they kind of brought that back in. So, like, she can go Super Saiyan easy. She was telling Kale, hey, do that. Kale kind of at one point, and I think it'll depend on the translation, but some translations even have that Kaba accidentally calls Kale his girl. Or, I mean, not Kale, Caulifla. Man, I'm going to get those two mixed up fast. His girl. Now, I think that is a translation error, but basically, the way it looks is Kale does not like Caulifla and Kaba being chummy with each other at all. Like, I think Kale really likes Caulifla. I don't know if it's like a protective, like, I look at her as a sister, or a more so. And we don't know. It don't matter. Like, I think this is a neat way to do it. She got jealous. That jealousy caused some anger and rage. She ends up all of a sudden just starts to transform. Like, you know, green lights everywhere. Everything else she transforms. Big old muscles start bulging out. And she's like sitting there, and the first pose you basically see her doing is the classic Broly pose. And that blew my mind, you know. She's like, I'm super powerful. And then she all of a sudden goes, Kaba, I'm gonna kill you first. I'm gonna finish you off. And Kaba's like, help me, mom. Help me, mother. I'm dead. You know, and it kind of cuts around from there, but I'm going to try to keep this part right here. Kaba has to go Super Saiyan to fight Kale. And so Kale's doing all these Broly-esque moves, throwing the big green spears, you know, pounding, a energy ball on from her chest and exploding, you know, like Broly does. Like, you know, she's just being full berserker, you know, so that's really, really, really cool that we got Broly, but not in the way, it was kind of the way we figured it would. But the amount of, like, Easter eggs that they're giving us about the form is really, really cool. Kaba at first does pretty good as a Super Saiyan, but, you know, Legendary Super Saiyan, I don't know if they'll call it that or not. It's just a bit too much. They'll probably call it, like, Super Saiyan Berserk or something. Or Super Saiyan Green. They'll do something like that. But, so, like, she's kicking Kaba's butt. Caulifla comes in, she goes Super Saiyan 2. Just automatically. And before I cover that, I'm going to just kind of explain the rest and everything out. And I'll go back to this towards the end, my opinions on that. But she goes Super Saiyan 2 and just blocks Kale's attacks and everything. And then basically tells Kale, hey, I wouldn't fall for such a weak little guy. You know, he's too weak for me. So it's okay. You know, she's like, Kale, you're awesome. You're amazing. And Kale's like, whoa, 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 okay, okay. She relaxes and turns back to normal. That's interesting because, as I said, the whole translation thing, one of them has it that Kaba says that Caulifla is his girl, and I think he said that to make Kale mad. I'm not sure, because the translation I was watching did not have that. They were talking and being pretty chummy with each other, and then all of a sudden talking, you know, about Kale, but they weren't doing anything else. And Kale has a lot of insecurities too, so that's going to be an interesting thing. You know, she goes from a very insecure to, and she's probably sadistic on the inside a little bit, to her Super Saiyan Rage-esque form really pulls out that. So that was just cool. But you see, the second part of this whole thing is Frieza. Now, when I say Frieza, Frieza's in hell right now. He's being, you know, tortured. Well, in his mind, tortured in Earth's hell. Now, you know, Goku comes there. Frieza's like, "What are you doing here?" And Goku's like, you know, explains it. You know, he's like, "Hey, you ever heard of the other universes? You ever heard of the Tournament of Power?" You know, he's like, you could gain a spot for 24 hours. And Frieza's like, "Well, what gain do I have here?" You know. And Goku's like, "Well, you know, you have 24 hours to come back. You'd be out of here even for just 24 hours." And Frieza goes and says, "If we win this, resurrect me." Goku is being very smart with this. Frieza's like one of those that he's being very smart with, which is interesting. I think Goku got like super, like, as soon as Goku seen Frieza again, there was some excitement. And Frieza is like his rival, his arch enemy, not his rival, but his arch enemy, the one that he fights every time, and it's just like such a massive fight, and that no matter how much Goku keeps coming, you know, getting stronger, Frieza is finding a way to come back, you know, with the golden form and stuff. But, you know, Goku is like, you know, "Hey, yes or no?" And Frieza's like, "What if I refuse?" And Goku's like, "Well," and I know why Frieza says this. He goes, "Well, things are gonna get a little, you know, rough. You know, things are gonna get a little, I think that could go bad." And Frieza laughs and goes, "Okay, I refuse." And Goku's like, "Okay, bye." And Frieza's like, no, hold on. I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding." Frieza goes golden. He goes, "But, you know, I know you're curious about my evolution, and you know I can get stronger." And that is something also interesting, because Frieza's saying, "I can get stronger," and a lot of us assume Frieza basically tapped in his full potential. But if he's saying he can go to a further limit, because, you know, he's like, "Just in 4 months I became this, you know, if I live, what do you think I can become?" So, and I have a feeling Frieza could get, like, super powerful. Like, I think it'd be so cool if Frieza lived through this, got resurrected, became uber powerful, you know, left for a long time, became uber powerful, and at the end of Super, you know, he came back and he was the final villain. He, you know, just like Toriyama was gonna have with Z, Frieza is the last. That would be cool, but that's just me fanboying probably. You know, a little nostalgia kicking in there. But, you said Goku's just like, "Oh man, you caught me in the weak point," you know. And he's like, tell you what, if, you know, there can only be one victor in the tournament if they're, you know, so if you win. So Frieza's like, "I guess I have no guarantee, but it's worth a better shot than just being stuck here for the rest of eternity." And they kind of end it, like, they don't really show too much other than, you know, Yanma was telling Goku beforehand, you know, "Hey, you know, if Frieza dies again or he disappears, he disappears, make sure it's away from Earth." That can mean Yama is only taking care of Earth, and that core area is, you know, dead, and then there's other hells and stuff. That would be interesting, you know. So that means there could be much more evil and dire hells, and Janemba could be stronger. Who knows? Don't know how the whole thing works there, but that's interesting. You know, Frieza being like that, Frieza being, you know, stating he can get stronger. Frieza coming back is like mind blowing, and I'm not gonna say it, but the previews from the next episode really blew my mind, and like what's gonna happen. So I'm just curious how it's all gonna go. Now I'm gonna go back to the Legendary Super Saiyan just for a moment more, and Caulifla. I think Caulifla, for example, going Super Saiyan 2 makes sense to a degree. We're going by Universe 7 Super Saiyans, like how they are. And the thing is that we're dealing with Saiyans who have evolved differently. They're Saiyans, but they're not the same Saiyans, if that makes sense. They're very different people. You know, they have the same potential, but then also they could have further because they don't have tails anymore. So their bodies adapted and grew to be as strong, maybe, and this is just me, you know, theorizing, as strong as when they have a tail. So I think Super Saiyan 2 can be more easily obtained. I think going Super Saiyan 3, you know, and then once again going Super Saiyan God is going to be a lot harder. I think, you know, that will be a thing for another time. You know, that would be, you know, I could see Caulifla going Super Saiyan 3, but not any stronger. But her base power could be a huge multiplier for that. But we won't know until we see the tournament. We won't know until we see more and all that. Kale is just, she's Broly. Every move she does power overflowing. You know, she's going after Kaba. She has somebody who makes her mad. So that's quite interesting there. We will hopefully find out more in the next episode. So I'm excited. I love this. But I thank you guys for everything. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed. And if you did, leave a comment below what you think's going to happen. And also leave a like if you like this. Also spread the word about these reviews. Hope this helped you understand maybe a little bit of the story. But my name's Death93. I love you guys. And I'll see you in the next review. Bye-bye.